Everybody works so hard to get here.
I'm swinging for the fences.
Be able to go to the tour, it'd be awesome.
Well, I would love nothing better than to fish for a living.
That's an awesome opportunity that you're not going to get in very many tournament circuits.
Have a Chevy truck to drive and a Ranger boat, and my entry fees paid and some spending money, and to be able to compete against the best anglers in the world would just be awesome.
The opportunity is awesome indeed, so buckle up for a wild ride. The 2014 TBF National Championship is about to begin.
Yeah.
Excitement and passion as 90 anglers from every state in the country have come to Grand Lake of the Cherokees in Grove, Oklahoma. 14 of them will secure a slot into the 2014 BFL All-American, and all of them hope to be the last man standing at the end of the competition, because the angler who wins here will also gain entry into the biggest tournament of the year, the Forrest Wood Cup. On the second morning, clear skies greet the competitors. Each of them has a game plan for how to bring back the 5 heaviest bass.
I think the fish are moving up, and I think it's going to be a better day today than it was yesterday. Yesterday I had 13 pounds. Today I'm shooting for 18 to 20. I think that's very highly probable because of the way the fish are moving right now.
Hopefully I go there and get that 20-pound bag.
Fish are probably going to be back out a little bit. Just because of no wind and a little bit cloudy skies and cooler in the morning.
Things are definitely grand on Grand Lake in Grove, Oklahoma. Hey, everybody, Jason Harper, along with the president of the TBF, Robert Cartledge. This is it. I mean, the 2014 National Championship, it doesn't get much better than this. You have, to me, I think as an angler, the weekend angler, they are so hungry for a win and a tournament title that this is really where you have the best of the best.
It is. You know, most of these anglers have worked for 2 years to get to this point. They fished their club, their state, the division tournament, and here they are at the National Championship, and it's a lifelong dream for most of them.
All right, let's talk about what's going on, because after day one, you would think the Central Division, the host division, would really be the strongest, but I guess it proves here, and you even look back over the last couple of years, that's not always the case.
It's not the case, and you know, last year a young man from California won this event right here on Grand Lake. You know, North Carolina, South Carolina, it's not the host division that's winning these events.
Well, the Southern Division, Mid-Atlantic, there's a couple divisions that actually have proven pretty well after day one out here.
The Southern Division right now, John Talton's leading, 20 pounds and 1 ounce on day one. He recently won a BFL event. He's got a little momentum coming into this tournament.
That's important, don't you think? I mean, we talk about it on the tour all the time. You've got to have that to be able to go from tournament to tournament and make it last, to make a tournament last more than just one day.
It does. It's very important for these anglers to believe that they can win. And so with that BFL win, he's coming into the National Championship. We'll see if he can carry it through. On the co-angler side, a Mid-Atlantic Division angler, Don Muir from Maryland. He weighed in 20 pounds and 2 ounces out of the back of the boat. So he obviously is on a good bag of fish the first day. We'll see if he can do it again today.
Mid-Atlantic always seems to be a pretty strong division when we have these tournaments. Don't you think that's what's great about Grand Lake, the size, the age of this lake, that it really has so many different techniques that are available to these anglers? It doesn't matter if you're from Arizona or from Connecticut or Florida, someone can find something for them to work with.
That's exactly right. Grand Lake is 75 years old. GRD has done a fantastic job managing this fishery. It's got rivers, it's got brush piles, styles, it's got docks, it's got something for everybody. So it's very diverse. There's no telling who's going to win this tournament.
When we talk about the Living the Dream prize package that this angler walks away with, certainly they want a shot at this year's Forrest Wood Cup. $500,000 is on the line, but fishing, a chance to fish on the tour with the big guys, I mean, that's not really in the cards for everybody, but just a shot at that is what most of these anglers want.
That's right. Not everybody, due to business or family obligations, can fish full time for years and years, but every bass angler who's ever fished would like to try it one time against the best in the world on the FLW Tour, and that's what we offer you.
Well, like you said, it started a couple years ago, and now start with 94 teams. It's cut day, so only 7 get to advance to the final round of this thing, and it's almost like you got divisional tournaments within this tournament going on, right?
That's right. There's 7 tournaments in one here. Each of our 7 divisions around the United States is represented here. So at the end of the day, we're going to crown 7 division champion boaters, 7 division champion co-anglers. All 14 of those anglers are on their way to the BFL All-American, and the final day is all about the Forrest Wood Cup and living the dream.
Oh man, a lot of nerves, a lot of excitement. I love seeing the families that are so supportive that come to the TBF National Championship, and that is it, cut day. Who's going to make it to that final round and one step closer to living the dream? Let's find out.
There's some fish shallow that's already moving up. A few good fish already moved up. Most of them bucks, I think. But I'm gonna try to catch some good ones on this rig, and might have to move up shallow and try to finish the limit out. These fish bite weird on this lake. They hit this rig, they just peck at it like crappie hitting it. At home, one of them hits it and they about jerk the rod out of your hand. Only had 6 bites yesterday. It's all good fish. Gonna stay the same what I'm doing. Swing for the fence, hope for the best. There's one. Now, it was sitting on this point. I caught one here in practice. Caught one here yesterday, moving in these bays to spawn, I reckon. Thanks, sir. Keeper number 1.
The Bass Federation National Championship is brought to you by Straight Talk. Same phones, same networks, half the cost. Experience more at evinrude.com. Minn Kota, anywhere, anytime. Plano, protect your passion. Repel, bite back. And by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time.
Checking a few new areas today, other areas where I've caught fish in practice.
The wind not blowing, probably hurting us today.
So far the wind hasn't been blowing all morning, and now it's starting to blow, and gives the fish a little tougher time seeing exactly what it is they're going to eat. Makes them commit to it without really looking it over.
It's day 2 of competition here at the 2014 TBF National Championship on Grand Lake, and the fishing has been tough. It's important for these anglers to adapt to conditions because you have to win your division to move on.
These fish really turned off. They're real finicky today. I don't know what happened. I think the lack of wind's got a lot to do with it.
Grand Lake is located in the northeast corner of Oklahoma and is known as one of the most productive fisheries in the U.S. The shallow flipping patterns tend to dominate in tournaments during springtime.
Buck bass. I'm sure it's probably a pretty tough bite for everybody. And hopefully I can get my first fish here real soon. We're gonna have to make a run. Not much, is it? Dang.
Front every once in a while won't bother them that bad. You get a front come through and weather changes 2 or 3 times a day, it just screws them up.
John Talton is staying calm because he's got a bit of a cushion on this tough second day. He has a big lead in the Southern Division, and although he's only found 1 fish so far, he appears to be in a good position to make a run at the title on the final day.
Can't panic. You gotta stay focused, try to make every cast count. Yesterday I thought they was moving in to spawn and hanging on the secondary points, but today it didn't seem like they was there. Make a little change here in a little while and go shallow and see what happens.
Today we don't have much wind, so they're going to be down deeper, and the bite's going to be a lot tougher. I figured it would be, so whatever you get in the morning is going to be it from what I can see. That's why I try to get them quick this morning.
Dino is also leading his division and also throwing an umbrella rig. He gets the bite but loses the fish at the boat.
Something's tapping it. I'm not used to these lakes down, these bigger impoundments. I'm from northern Indiana where we fish a lot of natural lakes. Just a tough day. The wind died down today. The wind really helped my crankbait bite out yesterday. And, I had a great limit yesterday. I found some fish. Today I struggled. My water muddied up. I might keep. Whew. Just makes it. Hopefully there's more to come.
Day 2 of competition comes to an end as the anglers make their way to weigh in, and we take a few moments to learn more about the history of the Bass Federation.
The Bass Federation started with a club in Chattanooga, Tennessee, formed in 1968, and the State Federation started forming about 1970. Through that now we have 47 U.S. state federations as well as a federation in Ontario, Canada. The federation is all about the club level events. The clubs and the states are what makes up TBF and what makes the federation possible. That grassroots piece of the federation is the most important part. The federation is about fishing. It's about friendship. It's about family. It's about camaraderie. There's no one mold that a federation angler fits into. These are folks that love to fish, are committed to youth and conservation. All of our state federation presidents, state youth directors, all the national board is volunteers. They love what they're doing. They love the organization. We believe that people who spend time in the outdoors are just better citizens. And we hope at the end of the day that we left the outdoor world a little bit better than we found it. You only need 6 members to start your very own TBF club. You set your own rules and how you want to fish and what you want to do. You can affiliate with your state federation. If you're a younger angler, of course, TBF and FLW has the high school fishing program nationwide. We run high school fishing tournaments in every state. We have a collegiate program. The Federation really has something for everyone. If you'd like to get involved, you can go to bassfederation.com or FLWOutdoors.com. There's plenty of information there to get you started, and we'd love to have you.
14 pounds, 14-12. You're on your way to All-American.
The bite changed yesterday. I didn't adjust quick enough, but today I made the adjustments early in the morning. The reaction bites are slowing down a little bit as the fish are starting to move back to the cuts looking for beds.
19 pounds, 5 ounces. James Biggs, you're going with the All-American.
The biggest thing I've learned is instead of trying to beat the bank and pluck the smaller fish off the wood and the beds like a lot of the guys are doing, I've decided to go for less bites and just try to get the right ones.
Congratulations, you're going to the All-American. There you go. Congratulations, John.
Had a lot of wind yesterday, and today we didn't have no wind. And I believe if the wind will blow tomorrow, it'll help it.
John Talton barely holds on to the lead, just 4 ounces ahead of James Biggs, but it's a lead all the same. In fact, only 2 other anglers were able to crack the 20-pound mark after 2 days of fishing. The final day is up next.
Past 2 days I've been calling since 10 in the morning, so hopefully it'll be the same today. So once I get my limit, then I go hunt for big ones.
This tournament here would mean a lot to me, mostly because I've come close to winning it before. A few years ago I finished second place here by just a few ounces, and I'm really excited about the opportunity to redeem myself.
I'm just going to go to the spots that I've caught fish on all week and swing for the fence. Hope for the best.
There's nothing more exciting than the final day of a national championship, and that's what's happening here in Grove, Oklahoma on Grand Lake. That's it. We're down to the top 7 divisional champions. There's only room for one angler to walk away living the dream. And Robert, when you look at day 2, it's a little more difficult for a lot of these anglers. The conditions changed a little bit, which is going to happen again today. But the story's really between first and second place, don't you think?
It is. John Talton, you know, he won a BFL event recently. He's leading the tournament by a few ounces. James Biggs is right behind him. Now, James is a guy that's only been fishing the Federation for about 3 years, but he's hungry. He finds a way to win. So this is going to be really close.
Well, don't you think that happens? A guy that finishes in second place a couple of times, you get real hungry and you try to figure out ways to finally walk away being in first place.
He does, and that's James Biggs in a nutshell. He's the guy I would not want behind me in a tournament because he's pushing for a win.
Well, like I said, John has won an event just recently on BFL. You take that momentum. We talk about that on the tour. That really helps when you're in a 3-day tournament. A lot of these anglers are used to a 1-day tournament. Making your area last and the fish reproduce for 3 days can certainly be a difficult thing. Let's talk about the title of this. We talk about living the dream. It's more than just a check. It's more than just a catchphrase. I mean, this really will change the life of an angler out there.
It is a life-changing event. It's a very big deal for a grassroots, for any angler really. Every angler would like to see how they stack up against the best in the world on the FLW Tour. We give them that chance. They're going to get fully paid entry fees in the FLW Tour, a wrapped Ranger boat to fish out of, wrapped Chevrolet truck, travel expense money to get to the event. We're going to give them a chance to live their dream.
You got 7 anglers out there fighting for the Living the Dream prize package, but there's only room for one angler. Who's it going to be? Only time will tell.
This time of year, each day, it's a constant learning curve and start over. Because, you know, while we're in bed asleep in the motel room, thinking about the next day, the fish are still doing business. They're headed back in the back.
Either my fish moved or they changed patterns. And we're going to hit this same cove one more time where we started, see if maybe they move shallow, looking to make their beds, maybe run around, see if we can get a limit.
Today I'm going to hit some of the same water that I've been hitting the last few days, mostly points and a few small cuts in probably 6 to 15 foot of water. Sometimes I'll get a little deeper than that, but mostly 6 to 15 foot. And we'll mostly be throwing a jerk bait, and of course I may throw the A-rig a few times, but most will be a jerk bait today. Yeah, a lot of times I'll actually get hung on the bottom of this thing quite a bit. I've done broke the bill off of 2 of these. This is my last one. You're only getting 7 or 8 keeper bites a day. You can't do that. Man.
This is a sort of a secondary point coming into a spawning bay. So we're gonna just burn through here, cover as much water as possible. Fish will be all the way from outside coming out of the main body of water, moving back through here, so they'll be cruising along the bank all the way to the backs. Getting here is quite the challenge. You do 4 qualifiers for our state. Once you make the top 12, you get to go to the divisionals, and then we have a slugfest at the divisional. Best 2 anglers get to qualify for this national event, and it's unlike any other. I mean, everybody works so hard to get here. You're blessed to make it here. I would do just about anything to be able to fish professionally for the rest of my life. There we go. Fish on. Good. There we go. There we go. Fish in the boat. Ain't a monster, but it'll do. It's a start. Thank you, Lord.
Man, what's wrong with these fish? If I'd caught a lot of fish, I'd say I've wore it out, but ain't really caught a lot of fish. The best fish came from right here yesterday. There's one. It's on!
It's slow going for Talton this morning, but this 2-pounder will keep his lead intact. The backs of the creeks are where everyone expects to find these bass that are moving up to spawn. Talton plans to pound the banks all day, and that decision just might play into the hands of James Biggs. Don't go away. It's the 2014 TBF National Championship.
Why in the world are they not biting today? I know we've been around fish. Fish, it ain't wiggling. I think it's a stick. Turtle. Turtle? A big turtle. No, it's a rock. I can't believe I actually caught a rock. How do you do that?
You can catch a lot of things on Grand Lake, sometimes all in the same cast. But what Steve Dinkler and the rest of the finalists are looking for this morning are big bass.
Wow. Nothing. It might be around a point.
Maybe we can't get one off of that point this morning. I've caught one there every day.
They're just waiting until it warms up a little to move up. I think they got a red light on the Bass Highway right now. They're just sitting.
The top 7 boaters and non-boaters have been working along the banks, searching for the fish that will change their lives. James Biggs has come close to winning before, but a crucial mistake cost him the title, and he's hoping to make up for it today.
Net. He isn't much of one. I don't even know if he'll keep.
It does just barely measure, but this is not the start Biggs needed.
He's hunched back and he touches 14, and that's it. So let's hope we coal him.
Biggs started with a solid plan. Slow roll an Alabama rig along bridge pilings near the mouths of creeks. That hasn't worked so far, so he's going to adjust and move to shallower water.
So we're basically back here right now just looking for any fish that are getting close to bedding. We have a small entrance to get back into a big bay, riprap on both sides, and it's just an area that has resident fish. This is one of the spots on the lake that the fish live year-round. And I'm basically coming in here, I've kind of lowered my expectations for a few minutes in order to just try to put a few fish in the box. Ooh, cool, there was a fish under there. He grabbed it. Sure did. Good news is he's still under there.
For Biggs, it's very important to stay positive, especially considering what happened to him in 2011.
Ready, come up. Yes. Oh, fish, net. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about.
Back in 2011, James Biggs was on a roll on the final day of the TBF National Championship, but he made a mistake while culling, tossing back the wrong fish, which ended up costing him the championship.
Looking for 16-13. 17 pounds and 1 ounce. You do it by 4 ounces. Wow.
You know, winning this tournament for me, it would be a dream come true for one. It truly is a living the dream. It really made me want it even more after being that close and not getting it. So it would kind of be an accomplishment because I've been so close to winning big things. I've never quite been able to seal the deal.
And today he has a chance at redemption, starting today just 4 ounces behind the leader. But John Talton has landed a decent fish, which now gives James Biggs a bigger hill to climb. It's been frustrating so far for Steve Dinkler. He's now fishing new water, still throwing his white jerkbait.
So far, we've hit 3 or 4 good spots that has produced all week for both of us, both the co-angler and myself. But for whatever reason, the fish at them spots has either moved or just not biting. I'm sure they're still there. So we tried to move around and find some different water, a little different type of bank. Bite. Fine. We're gonna get there one way or the other. A big old spot. Yeah, it's a big old spot. Finally got a one for the day. Get started.
Been tough. I've only got 1 fish in a while. Yeah, there's been a lot of fish caught in this area, and it's just a big bay with a lot of spawning pockets. I think there's fish moving in and out every day.
Ideal conditions. The only thing we were saying is if they move to spawn, they shut off fighting. So that could be the case. We're gonna have to go check them in that back cove.
You can let it mess around with your head, then you start either fishing too fast or don't stick with your game plan, and they usually hurt you a lot worse than just if you can keep your head on and just know that 80% of the battle is in your head.
Yeah, I've caught them in a lot of different areas of the lake. Just the banks have to look a certain way. It's got to have a rocky bank and it's got to drop off kind of quick. and I seem to, catch the ones sitting out there suspended. We're sitting in 17 foot of water. That seems to be where the boats needed to be about all week. 15, 20 foot of water, if your boat's sitting in that, you'll usually get a bite or two. Fish, big one. All right. Thank you. Number 2.
I live by the theory that you got to get bit before you worry about landing them. I mean, the odds of landing a fish when you throw over multiple cables and stuff back here is probably not real good if it's a big fish. But the flip side is right now I'm just trying to get a bite. And the fish that are living back here won't get pressured. And this is where a lot of them are going to move. They're going to live in these docks and they're going to move up behind the docks to spawn. And for the most part, not too many people are going to mess with fishing for them. That's what I'm doing now, putting my bait in some places that I don't think anybody else is putting it, in hopes to just draw a strike. Net. Thank you, Lord. All right, number 2. That's a male. Maybe a female up there with him. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I still plan on winning today. And I don't mean that in an arrogant way. I just believe if you're going to fish at this level, you got to be confident and you got to stay positive. You can't be thinking about, oh man, I didn't get bit, or I wonder what the other guys are doing. You just have to play your game, fish your game, just trust at the end of the day everything's going to be all right.
The final day is testing the willpower of the 7 boaters who have so much on the line. Whoever can make the right decisions and find where the bass have moved to will be victorious.
That's what it takes in this kind of tournament. You can't be scared to move if they're not biting. You got to go find some it is, because I guarantee somebody somewhere is going to be catching them. It may as well be you.
The 2 men who have looked for new water here on Grand Lake, James Biggs and Steve Dinkler, are now atop the leaderboard.
I don't understand why we can't catch fish. Sucker just needs to get hungry.
For John Talton, it's felt like a long time since he lit up the scales with over 20 pounds on day 1. He's one of the anglers who's sticking with his game plan, throwing the same stuff he does at his home waters of Lake Chickamauga.
I'm using an umbrella rig, just throwing it up on points in shallow, up 2 foot of water, and setting the boat out in 20 to 25 feet, and just slow rolling it.
He's made some adjustments to his pattern. He's now throwing it at docks.
There's one. Now, we'll swing him in. That's what we're supposed to be catching right there. Yeah.
Nicholas Fitzsimmons has a theory on why it's been so tough today. It's the pre-spawn funk.
So yeah, typically pre-spawn, when the water temp hits about 50, 55 degrees, the fish just go on a feeding frenzy. They eat as much as they possibly can, get ready for spawning. It takes a lot out of them. So they try to increase as much weight as they can. The pre-spawn funk, though, is right before they spawn, they stop thinking about feeding. They got as fat as they want to be, and they're getting ready. All they're doing is thinking about getting their eggs laid. So what we're doing is probably the best thing you can do. We're still trying to get pre-spawn feeding females in these transitional areas, ones that haven't moved up in the shallows, starting to look. So, cross your fingers and hope we get them. Good fish. So I flipped up there. There was a little bit of wood down there right next to that cable. Went to lift up, just felt a little bit of pressure, set the hook, and there was a fish. Hallelujah. There we go. Not great, but better. Woo! Not a giant, but happy to have her.
Fish are just transitioning and can't keep up with it. Every day it's different. Sometimes they go into pre-spawn, other times they're up looking for, you know, areas to make beds. Just constantly moving. They're on the move all the time.
Dino Muragianis couldn't find any activity this morning and is still looking for a limit. He's fishing what he calls a rest area. It's the release area for local tournaments and usually holds a few bass. He's got a crankbait tied onto a spinning rod looking for a reaction bite.
Just need 3 more bites. 3 more good bites. Fish. Nope. How do you get another rock? That's 2 in one day.
Dinkler's on a roll with the rocks today, but the big bass haven't been as easy to find. Even with the miscues, he still has confidence in the bait he's throwing.
Right now I'm throwing a white with orange belly, Rick Klung jerkbait, just throwing it on a little spinning rod with 8-pound test. So every time you hook a good fish, it's pretty nerve-wracking that you're going to break off with 8-pound test in here, but that's the only way I can get bit, so I'm going to stick with it. I should have swung, stupid thing. God!
James Biggs has decided to try the bridge pilings again to see if his timing might be a little better this time around.
You know, one of the things I've keyed on here is the bridges that are in the back of the creeks. The fish want to migrate in the backs during this time of year to go spawn. And if you can find a creek that has a bridge that bottlenecks down, it forces the fish to go back in the creek in just a small area, a couple 100-yard stretch or however wide the bridge is. So I've really keyed on trying to find that funneling area and staying right there, and the fish are just coming to me. I mean, it's one of those situations where I'll get one and I'll leave and I'll come back an hour later and another one's coming in. Nit. Oh my gosh, dude, this is giant. Giant, giant. This is it. This is a good one. Please, Lord, help me. Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. No, 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 no. Now. Yeah! That's a Grand Lake bass. That helps the cause. That's the kind right there. A couple more like that and we'll have a shot today. 3.
The Bass Federation National Championship is brought to you by Kellogg's. From great starts come great things. Mercury Marine, 75 years of marine excellence. Motor Guide, introducing the new XI5 and Pinpoint GPS. Find, navigate, dominate with Lowrance. Walmart, save money, live better. And brought to you by the all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado.
Well, fella, it's about time. I think they're just now fixing to turn on.
Come on, Beggin. I just like to have a 6-pounder to hold up on stage.
Kind of found a couple in practice, and then we came here during one of the tournament days, caught a couple small fish. Well, they were decent, like 2.5 pounders. That's all I'm looking for right now.
Time on the water's almost up for the men fishing for the 2014 TBF National Championship. James Biggs caught a good keeper around the bridge and plans on sticking it out here until the end.
Bad news is we have an hour left. The good news is they're starting to move up. So just hope we can get a couple more bites before time's up here. And we'll still have a shot at winning the dream package. Net, net. Thank you, Lord. Boom. That'll help. Number 4. Good solid chunk. Boom.
This 4th keeper puts Biggs one step closer to winning the title that he let slip away 3 years ago.
They got to be transitioning and moving, because they definitely weren't where I was catching them.
Dino Mutagianis is chasing after the fish now, searching for a bite to at least give him a limit. Nicholas Fitzsimmons has 2 in the boat, and he's retreated out towards the suspended fish after his shallow pattern failed to produce.
It's tough.
Steve Dinkler has had a frustrating day. Just 2 small keepers and some misses that he wishes he could have landed.
Hope it's as tough on everybody else as it is us.
And John Taunton has spent the day trying to duplicate his day 1 stringer, but it just hasn't happened for him. So now he's going with plan B.
Just hoping to catch another and 2 off of these points right here. Switched up to a jerk bait, slow it down a little, maybe talk one in the button. I know there's fish in here, I've caught them all week. I think they know I'm on a diet. They went on one too to support me. There's one. I'll put him on the board. No.
Mutagianis has put away the umbrella rig in hopes that a more traditional crankbait will get the job done.
This crankbait normally runs 8 feet, but we're throwing in 3.5 and just bumping off structures, trigger strikes, because nothing really biting today. It's the only way we can get hits. You got a fish?
Things can go from a dead stop to 100 miles an hour in a hurry on Grand Lake as Dino hooks up as well.
I got a fish. Good one, good one.
It's tangled up.
Left side. Nice. Thank you, brother. That'll work. I gotta check. Thank you, Jesus. Right on the line, right? Yeah. See that? Yep. Come on, we can do this. There's a lot more fish here.
Nicholas Fitzsimmons already caught one along this steep bank, and now he's working the deep timber trying to coax a bite.
These fish are still staging. They haven't moved up yet, so they're still on deep structure, and those are the fish we're looking for because they're a little bit more apt to bite than the cruising fish are going to be. You're all right, man. There you go. Number 3.
Fish. Yep, no short. Dadgone. If some of these would learn to keep, it'd be somebody. Pretty aggravating not being able to get the bites that I have been getting and then not capitalizing on the ones that I have gotten. That really hurts because you never know what the other guys are going to catch. You know, they may go out and really sack them today, but they may go out and have as tough a day or tougher than I did. Biggin', jeez. God! That'll disgust you.
One more flurry. One more good flurry. That's what we need.
James Biggs knows he needs a limit of bass. Nothing less will do for him. So with little time remaining, he's going to go with his gut feeling.
I have never fished this in my life. I was just looking, and one thing about it, in the springtime, these fish like these bowls, or what I call bowls or corners. And if you notice, you got a transition from this rock bank here to this bluff wall. And it just makes a little bowl, and it's wind blown, and the shad are up in here, and it's the perfect place to find a fish. Net. That could be the one. Doesn't feel real big. He doesn't feel very big, but I think he may keep. I think he may be number, ooh, he's close too. Please be long. 14 and a half. 14 and a half. All right. That might be the prettiest little fish I've ever seen.
Give her all we could.
It's time to find out who won the 2014 TBF National Championship here on Grand Lake.
Fish is just transitioning, and can't keep up with it. Every day it's different.
We got a couple in the boat, so I can't complain.
Right now I'm up in the air on how I feel about if I got enough or not.
The journey to the big stage, and the first question answered is who won the co-angler title and will fish in the Forrest Wood Cup.
Your champion is Don Muir. Wow! TBF National Champion on the co-angler side.
Congratulations, you are a national champion on your way to the Forrest Wood Cup. Congratulations, Don.
My wife has always told me, pick up the pennies for good luck. I found this penny on the parking lot, first day of practice, 5 o'clock in the morning. And I picked it up and put it in my pocket. And I rubbed it every day, 10 times a day. I'll pick up every penny now from now on.
You're going to the Forrest Wood Cup, the BFL All-American, Rayovac Series next year, division of your choice, entries paid. Let's hear it one more time for Don Muir, champion.
Now it's time to find out who will live the dream and take home one of the most prestigious trophies in bass fishing.
5 pounds 3 ounces, John. That moves you up to 5th place with 21 pounds and 3 ounces.
Dave Cermak found this lake even tougher as he brought no fish in today, leaving Nicholas Fitzsimmons an opportunity to move up in the standings. The Northwest Division champ fished clean and had a good game plan for fishing the pre-spawn funk, as he called it. So where would he end up?
3 that weighs 7 pounds 3 ounces. Nick, that moves you to 4th place.
He is a communications manager from West Virginia. Please welcome Steve Dinkler.
In 2 days, you've amassed 26 pounds and 13 ounces of Grand Lake bass. You need just 2 pounds and 14 ounces. Your 2 weigh 5 pounds and 8 ounces. You are the new leader. Congratulations. Let's see your 2 best bass.
Those 2 fish could be worth $250,000 apiece if he was to move on and win the Forrest Wood Cup.
Dino Mutagianis was Mr. Consistent this tournament, weighing 14 pounds on day 1 and again on day 2. Can he do it 3 days in a row?
Come into today in 3rd place, 2 14-pound bags. First 2 days of the tournament had you in 3rd place, and Eastern Division champion. To take the lead right now from Steve Dinkler, you just need 3 pounds and 10 ounces. 310. 3 bass worth 6 pounds and 1 ounce. You are the new leader.
3 years ago, he fished the national championship. He finished 2nd place, and he admitted to culling the wrong fish. He lost by 6 ounces. Fishing the Central Division, James Biggs.
19 pounds 5 ounces yesterday. That had you sitting overall in 2nd place. You need just 5 pounds and 8 ounces. 5 bass limit for James Biggs. Worth new leader, 14 pounds and 5 ounces. You've amassed 43 pounds and 11 ounces of Grand Lake bass in 3 days.
And then there was one. The big man from Tennessee, John Talton, steps up to the scales.
John Talton on day 1 weighed in 20 pounds and 1 ounce. Yesterday, 9 pounds and 9 ounces. That had him sitting in 1st place going out on the final day of the TBF National Championship. He needs 14 pounds and 2 ounces to regain his lead from James Biggs of Texas. 2 bass worth 2 good ones. 6 pounds and 10 ounces. That means your champion is James Biggs of Texas. Wow!
Congratulations on behalf of TBF and FLW Outdoors, your $100,000 Living the Dream prize package.
It's been a lot of work to get here. I just want to thank the Lord. It was an awesome day. Thanks to TBF, Ranger Boat, just all the support along the way. It's just awesome. My dad got me into Bass Club at 16 in the Federation, and without him getting me in it at that age, I wouldn't be right here.
Listen, Dad, thank you so much. for getting a young man involved in fishing. Ladies and gentlemen, your national champion, living the dream angler, James Biggs.
Redemption is so sweet for James Biggs, who will cherish this title for the rest of his life. He will represent the over 25,000 anglers who are part of the Bass Federation next year on the Walmart FLW Tour. To get the most comprehensive coverage of the Walmart FLW Tour, complete with tips, blogs, and videos from top pros, go to FLWOutdoors.com.